Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto X High School DxD, Part 2, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. At his words Cadis threw herself into Naruto's arms and buried her head into his chest as she hugged him tightly. "Oh Naruto-kun, I love you too," said Cadis. They held the hug for a few minutes before Cadis pulled back and planted a kiss on Naruto's lips. Naruto quickly returned the kiss while pulling her body flush against his. They would have continued if Cadis's door hadn't suddenly opened. Standing in the door was Murayama in her own night clothes, which consisted of yellow short shorts and a black t-shirt. "Naruto-kun, what are you doing here? Why do you have a tail?" asked Murayama in shock. Naruto quickly moved from Cadis and covered Murayama's mouth. "Could you not yell that out, because that would be really helpful." "And what are you doing here, Mura-chan?" asked Naruto. "Don't worry Naruto-kun, my parents are away on business and won't be back till tomorrow. Murayama is here because we were studying together when we just decided to have a sleepover. Oh, and Murayama, the flyers Naruto-kun gave us are real, they'll really allow us to make wishes," said Cadis. "So you really summon a devil in order to wish for Naruto-kun to come here?" asked Murayama. Cadis shook her head no and explained everything to Murayama that Naruto explained to her. Murayama even petted Naruto's tail, which caused her to squeal much like Cadis did. "Wait Cadis, you didn't make a wish so you still have to do that," said Murayama. "She's right, so what do you wish for me, Kata-chan?" asked Naruto. Cadis looked at Murayama, who nodded to her before returning her attention to Naruto. "Naruto-kun, I wish for you to take our virginity," said Cadis with a blush on her face. She and Murayama had been thinking about this for a long time and had decided that they wanted to give their virginities to Naruto and they wanted to do it at the same time. Naruto simply stared at his two girlfriends for a few moments before he smirked at them. "Your wish is my command," said Naruto before he pulled both girls to him and started a make-out session like they did in class this morning. The three of them rested in that position for a good 30 minutes, with neither of them saying anything, as they just enjoyed the afterglow of their love-making. "Naruto-kun, you said that devils can have harems, right?" asked Cadis, finally breaking the silence. "Yeah, why do you ask?" asked Naruto. "If you get a harem, will you forget about us?" asked Murayama. She and Cadis weren't against Naruto having women other than them, they already share him with each other, so why not other women as well? They just didn't want to be forgotten if he attracted women that were more beautiful and bustier than them, like Ria's and Akeno. "Of course I won't forget you too. I love both of you, and no matter what happens in the future that won't change, in fact if it will set your minds at ease, then I promise that I will never forget either of you," said Naruto. Both of the girls smiled at this, as they knew Naruto took his promises seriously and would rather die than break them. It was something else that they loved about him. They both gave him a kiss on the cheek and then snuggled deeper into him. "So when will you be leaving Naruto-kun? Not that I really want you to, that is," asked Cadis. "You sure you don't want me to leave, cause it sure sounds like it," said Naruto. "I promise it's not like that, I would love nothing more than to go to sleep in your arms, then wake up with you still holding me. But I have no idea how early my parents will be getting home, and the last thing I want is for them to come in here to check on me and see me naked in bed with you. Mura-chan and I have always shared the bed whenever we had sleepovers, so they wouldn't bother to check under the covers. The moment they see you however, the first thing they'll do is pull the covers off and see the three of us naked," said Cadis. "Good point. Well I got here at 7 and it's 9:30 now, so I'll stay till 10 then be on my way. Don't forget to sign the flyer though," said Naruto. Cadis's parents actually liked him, well her mother did, well her father was constantly on his ass about treating Cadis right and to stop dyeing his hair. Naruto tried telling him that his hair wasn't dyed, but the man would never believe him. He hadn't had the chance to meet Murayama's parents yet. "I signed it while you were fucking Mura-chan, so don't worry about that, just rest with us," said Cadis. Naruto did just that and enjoyed the feeling of the naked bodies of his lovers pressed up against him. Later with Naruto. Naruto was currently walking down a street towards his apartment with his tail out since no one was around. Sure he had faster ways of getting home, but he wanted to enjoy the cool crisp night air and the moonlight. Naruto also had a huge grin on his face, and could you really blame him? He just had a threesome with two virgins, well two former virgins, but still. On his way home Naruto lost his grin when he felt some familiar energy signatures coming from the park. Heading over there Naruto saw that Issei was there along with the male fallen angel that tried to kill him the other night, don't seek if he remembered right. He also felt Koneko hiding in the bushes nearby. Naruto guessed she was supposed to be watching Issei. Naruto had to force himself to not laugh at this, as he knew how Koneko felt about perverts and guessed that she hated her current job. Naruto then saw Donasek move to attack Issei, who started to run away, but Koneko didn't move from her spot. Naruto was conflicted as he didn't want to save Issei at all, but Donasek had looked down on him and had tried to kill him. Naruto couldn't let him get away with that. In the end, Naruto decided to deal with Donasek even if he really didn't want to save Issei. "It's over for you, little devil," said Donasek as he was about to stab Issei through the stomach. Naruto then suddenly appeared between them in a burst of static and grabbed the spear in his left hand, which started to smoke. Naruto noticed that the burning sensation in his hand was worse than it was the other night, but chalked it up to being a devil, and now so light had a much worse effect on him, though he was glad that his hero still offered him a great deal of protection from it. Everyone was surprised by Naruto's sudden appearance, but the hidden Koneko was even more surprised when she saw Naruto's tail. She had always thought that her friend was a simple human, which was why her king had ordered the peerage to not waste time on him and to focus on that pervert Issei. She was the only one that didn't listen to that order and befriended Naruto when he approached her. She thought he was really nice, and despite the fact that he had 2 girlfriends, he wasn't a pervert. It was also a huge plus in her book that despite her having a petite figure and being so stoic, he still treated her like a normal girl. He complimented her, made her laugh, and smirked, brought her treats every now and then, and he knew just the right spot on her head to pet her in his hands. Now it made sense though, because if he was a yokai of the cat variety like her, then of course he would know the perfect place to scratch and pet. Though now she was wondering why she never felt any chakra from him until now. When it hit her, he was suppressing his chakra to the point that no one would be able to sense it. This thought brought a bunch of questions into her mind, but the main one was why he felt a need to hide his chakra. He must have sensed the other supernatural beings in the school. Does he know about me then? Koneko asked herself before going back to watching what was going on. "Hey bitch, remember me?" said Naruto before giving Donasek a strong right hook that sent him flying back and crashing into a tree. The added strength from the rook piece has thrown off my ability to control my strength. I'll have to work on that. Naruto thought to himself. He flexed his hand. He hadn't intended for that punch to be that powerful. "Ah shit, why do you keep hitting me in the face?" yelled Donasek. "I actually don't know, there's just something about your face that makes me want to punch it," said Naruto. "Why do you have a tail, bastard?" asked Issei. "Really? I saved your life again and you're still calling me a bastard. You know what, never mind, just get the fuck out of here and let me handle this," said Naruto before turning back to Donasek just in time to duck under a swipe from a light spear and counter-attack with a punch to the chest. The punch was still stronger than Naruto intended as Donasek flew back and actually went through the tree this time. "Damn it, why did you come to save him again?" asked Donasek as he got up while holding his chest. "I didn't come for him, I'm here for you. You see, last night you tried to kill me and you looked down on me while you did it. I can't let that go, as I won't allow anyone to look down at me. Especially not someone weaker than me," said Naruto with narrowed eyes. Koneko narrowed her eyes upon hearing that this fallen angel had tried to kill her friend last night. She was tempted to leave her hiding spot and beat the shit out of him for that, but then another thought came to her mind. Rias had told them that she had reincarnated Issei last night after he was attacked by some fallen angels. Did that mean that Rias showed up after the fallen angels and Naruto had left Issei to die, or that the fallen angels had attacked Naruto somewhere else after they attack Issei? She really didn't want to think of the worst case scenario where Naruto and Issei were dying together and Rias had chosen to save Issei and left Naruto to die, but that seemed like the most likely case since this fallen said that Naruto had tried to help Issei last night. She would have to get answers from Rias or Naruto later. "Weaker than you last time I checked, it wasn't that hard to fight you last time," said Donasek. "Last time you had 3 others to back you up and I was dead tired and it still took you a while to hurt me. Now though I'm fully charged and it's one-on-one, I'm gonna grind you into dust," said Naruto. Donasek created 6 light spears and threw them in Naruto's direction. "Just die already," yelled Donasek. Naruto caught 2 of the spears before dodging the rest, then breaking the spears in his hands with his grip alone. "Sorry, but I'm not that easy to kill," said Naruto with a grin. "You may not be, but your friend is," Donasek said with his own grin. "Don't call him my friend, and what are you talking about?" asked Naruto with a confused look before he heard something behind him. "It hurts even worse than I remember," cried Issei. "What the?" asked Naruto as he turned and saw Issei had been stabbed through the stomach again by one of the light spears. "You fucking moron, I told you to get out of here and instead you stayed and watched," yelled Naruto as he couldn't believe the levels of stupidity he was seeing. They were over 9,000. Koneko deadpanned at this as she was in complete agreement with Naruto. Issei was a fucking moron. She sighed as she was part of the same peerage as said fucking moron and knew that he would only cause trouble later. Still, though, she had a job to do, so started to contact Rias. "Hey, I don't have to listen to a bastard like you," said Issei before he coughed up some blood. Both Naruto and Donasek deadpanned at Issei for his response. Now even Donasek could understand why Naruto didn't like Issei. "Fuck you, Issei, just fuck you," said Naruto before turning back to Donasek. They were about to fight again, but then Donasek dodged a bolt of lightning. "Now who's getting involved in my shit?" Naruto thought to himself. He was seriously getting pissed off now. Turning to where the lightning came from, he saw Keno, Rias, and Koneko standing there, with a Keno having lightning sparking off her hand. "Well, look at what we have here," said Rias. "The Grimoire heiress," said Donasek. "Look, President, Naruto-san has a cute tail," said a Keno. "I see, we'll confront him about that later, but for now we have a fallen to deal with," said Rias. Naruto stood there listening to Rias, and Donasek bantered back and forth with an irritated expression on his face. He then noticed Donasek trying to fly away and used Sunito to appear above Donasek. "Where do you think you're going?" said Naruto before delivering a hard axe kick that sent Donasek towards the ground, with Naruto following him. When Donasek hit the ground a second later, Naruto connected with a punch to the chest that had so much force behind it that the ground under them cratered. "I told you that I wouldn't let go of the fact that you looked down on me," said Naruto. Donasek quickly made another light spear and swung it at Naruto's neck. Naruto did nothing, but when the spear met his neck, the spear shattered, shocking Donasek, Rias, Akeno, and Koneko. Issei had already passed out. Naruto grinned savagely as he started to really beat the shit out of Donasek with chakra-enhanced punches. Those watching winced at each punch that connected, except for Akeno, who had a deep blush on her face. Naruto then picked Donasek up and performed 3 suplexes in a row. This had the effect of breaking Donasek's wings. Donasek was barely conscious as he saw Naruto standing over him. The look in his eyes showed Donasek just how disappointed Naruto was with this fight. "It's over, Donasek, I'm going to finish you with a move my mother taught me," said Naruto as he held his right hand out and the air began to swirl around it until a sphere of swirling chakra the size of a softball formed in his hand. Once the attack was fully formed, just looking at it caused Naruto to remember when his mom had taught him this attack. Flashback. The younger Naruto stood in front of a tall woman with fair skin, deep purple eyes, ankle-length crimson red hair, a slim but feminine figure, long legs, wide hips, a bubble butt, and DD cup breasts. She wore a forest green apron over a white blouse, black pants, and blue sandals. "This is Kushina Uzumaki Jijirjakas, Naruto's mother." "What are you gonna teach me today, mom?" asked Naruto. "Well, Naruto-chan, as I've told you before, due to how faithfully the Uzumaki clan has served the Shinto gods, our family were the only humans to be blessed with chakra. When I unlocked my chakra when I was a little girl, I created a bunch of super strong techniques in order to protect myself and my family, though the one I'm going to teach you I didn't make until after I met your father. Thanks to you having been born half yokai and a member of Uzumaki clan, you have huge chakra reserves, but you didn't have much control over your chakra, so I couldn't teach you much about my techniques. Now though, since your control has improved, I'm going to teach you one of my best techniques," said Kushina with excitement in her voice. She was happy to finally be able to pass down her techniques to her precious baby boy. "Wow, really, what technique are you going to teach me?" asked Naruto. "Here, I'll show you," said Kushina as she walked over to a large boulder. She held her hand out and the air started to swirl around it before a sphere of swirling chakra the size of a softball formed in her hand. Naruto was in awe of the sphere, but then Kushina raised her arm back, then shot in forward until the sphere collided with the boulder. The sphere drilled into the boulder before it popped outward and destroyed the entire boulder. Naruto was blown away by what he had just seen. Kushina smiled brightly as she saw her son's face. "That's the technique I'm gonna teach you, Naruto-chan. It took me years to make it, and technically it isn't done yet, as I've always wanted to add a natural element to it. I actually modeled this technique after your father's great beast bomb," said Kushina with some sadness seeping into her voice at the mention of her late husband. She still believed that those devils had something special up their sleeves in order to kill her husband. Even 10 high-class devils weren't strong enough to kill a yokai like Grimjo. But that brought up the question of just what did they have in order for them to be strong enough to kill her husband. Naruto was now even further in awe of his mother. She had created that cool technique based off of one of his father's most powerful attacks. Naruto had seen his father's great beast bomb a few times, and each time it amazed him at just how powerful his father was. "What is your technique called, mom?" asked Naruto. Kushina smiled at her son before answering. "Well, my little panther prince, my technique is called Flashback End. Rasengan," yelled Naruto as he drove the attack into Donasek's chest. Screamed Donasek in unbelievable pain as the sphere drilled into his chest, grinding away at flesh and bone as if it was nothing at all. Koneko and Rias winced at the sound of the man's screams, but also focused on the attack Naruto was using. For Rias the attack was interesting, as she could feel the pure power behind it, but yet here was Naruto with full control over it. She always knew that chakra was strong, it was one of the many reasons she was happy Koneko was a part of her peerage, but the girl refused to use the abilities granted to her by her Yokai heritage, other than her sensing abilities. Rias wasn't an idiot, she knew that after what she said to him last night she wasn't exactly in his good graces, but maybe there was another way to get him to use his power to help her. Maybe Koneko not focusing on his say like I ordered is actually a blessing in disguise. If I work this right I should be able to use his friendship with Koneko to get him to help me. Rias thought to herself. Koneko was transfixed by the sphere of pure chakra, she had never seen an attack like it before. As a Yokai herself she knew just how destructive chakra could be when used for offense, but ever since that whole situation with her own sister, she hadn't used her chakra at all. Relying completely on her devil powers ever since Rias turned her. She wondered if she started using her chakra again, would she be as strong as Naruto clearly was, if so then maybe she would start using her chakra again, as long as Naruto was there to teach her. Koneko then glanced at Rias and saw a gleam in the Riti's eyes, a gleam that she didn't like. What's happened to you, Rias? When we first met you were so nice and understanding, but for the last couple of weeks you've been very cold, power hungry, and manipulative. I don't like this Rias, I want the old Rias back. Koneko thought to herself. She could tell that something was going on with Rias, but for some reason Rias wouldn't tell them. And what was Akeno doing during all this? Well she was sexually panting while holding her flaming red cheeks and rubbing her thighs together with her lady juices running down her legs. It was safe to say she was greatly enjoying the pain Naruto was putting the fallen angel through, in fact his last attack and the scream of the fallen angel had actually caused her to climax. I wonder if I can convince Naruto-san to teach me that technique, the amount of pain I'll be able to cause with it. Akeno moaned in her head. For a few moments Naruto's attack continued to grind into Donaseek before it finally decided to burst, which caused the crater Donaseek was in to grow in size, while his chest caved in on itself in the shape of a spiral. Naruto stood up and walked away from the now dead body of the fallen angel Donaseek. If he was honest Naruto was extremely disappointed with the fight. Sure he knew he outclassed Donaseek in every way, but he at least expected Donaseek to put up a better fight for his life than that. There was no strategy or tricks, it was just to create a light spear and attack directly. How tired was he last night to actually lose that fight? Mom was right, I train myself way too hard sometimes if I lose to people this week just because I exhausted myself, even if there were a total of 4 of them. Naruto thought to himself. Before Naruto could walk off and go home he was stopped by the voice of Koneko. Naruto. Called Koneko. Naruto stopped and looked back at Koneko. Sup Ko-chan. Said Naruto casually, like he didn't just violently kill someone. Yokai, said Koneko simply. Yes, well half yokai actually. Said Naruto with his tail lazily waving behind him. Nekomata? Asked Koneko, unsure if she's ever heard of a male Nekomata. Close, but no, I'm a panther yokai, which is why I only have a long tail. You on the other hand, are a Nekomata, no the way your chakra flows is different, you're a Nekashu. Said Naruto. His father had hammered into his head early on how to feel out someone's energy, as knowing exactly what your opponent was helped greatly in figuring out how to take them down. Rias and Akeno were shocked by how fast he figured that out and just from her chakra flow. I have questions, you have answers. Said Koneko. Naruto grinned at her before he started walking away again. I'm sure you do have questions Ko-chan, and I'll answer what I can, but not tonight. It's already late and we have school tomorrow so find me when you have some free time and we'll talk. Oh, and Ko-chan, from the feel of your chakra I can tell that you don't like your heritage too much. I don't know what happened to make this so, but I hope you'll tell me at some point. With your white hair I'm guessing your tail and ears make you look really cute and I'd like to see that one day. Said Naruto before disappearing in a burst of static, using Sanito to get home. Koneko was shocked at what Naruto was able to learn about her from just reading her chakra. Her cheeks gained a little pink to them though when he mentioned that she would look cute with her cat features showing. What she really liked though was that even though he knew that there was a reason she didn't like her Nekashu heritage, he wasn't pushing for her to tell him right away and was willing to wait until she felt ready. At this point Koneko felt something inside of her pulling her towards Naruto. She had felt this pulling before, but now that she has seen him fight and heard those words the pull was much stronger. What she didn't know was that that pull was her instincts trying to pull her towards a strong mate. Well that was an interesting interaction, wouldn't you say Rias? Asked Akeno. Yes it was Akeno, tell me Koneko, just how close are you and Naruto-san? Asked Rias. I don't want to punch him for calling me Ko-chan. Answered Koneko. I see I have some questions. I want you to ask him for me once you talk to him, but for now I need to get Issei healed," said Rias with a gleam in her eyes. Koneko didn't like that gleam, but nodded anyway, while hoping that whatever the questions were wouldn't ruin her friendship with Naruto. In the abandoned church. "What do you mean Donosike is dead?" yelled a female voice. The owner of the voice was a tall woman standing at 6'3" with pale skin, waist-length black hair, bright yellow eyes, a slender but feminine build, a narrow waist, wide hips, long legs, a bubble butt, and H-cup breasts. Her clothes, she wore gold-colored stiletto heels, black leather tights, a gold-colored studded belt, a black tube top that barely held her breasts back, and a studded collar around her neck. On the woman's back were 6 black feathered wings. On the ground in front of her were the beaten forms of Rainer, Middled, and Kalwerner. The woman had savagely beaten them when they told her of Donosike's death. It wasn't that she actually cared about Donosike, but the fact that she had lost another servant. "We're sorry Lady Sora, but Donosike is dead. Before he died there was a huge flare of chakra, the same chakra that has been killing the others," said Rainer. "Damn it, we knew that the devils were renting this land from the Shinto faction, so we should have expected at least one yokai to be here. Still, we can't afford to keep losing men, so I want you 3 to find that damn yokai and kill them, but do it covertly. We still have a few days before that nun gets here, so we don't need the devils to learn of what we're doing," said the now named Sora. "As you wish Lady Sora," Rainer, Middled, and Kalwerner said at the same time. "We have to find some way to get word to Azazel-sama, this bitch, and Kakabiel are gonna start another war," Rainer thought to herself. Currently we find Naruto laying on his back on the roof of the school. It was lunchtime, and he was waiting for Koneko to come and ask him whatever question she had. While waiting for Koneko, he was thinking about the interesting day he's had so far. The moment he walked onto campus, he could hear people whispering about why Caddis and Murayama came to school walking with a limp and a glow around them. The boys instantly thought nothing of the glow and just assumed Naruto had hurt them, while the girls came to the conclusion that they and Naruto had finally had sex. Naruto wondered if Caddis and Murayama had told everyone that they had sex, but didn't really mind if they did. As he loved them, and if they wanted everyone to know, then fine. When he found them and asked if they told everyone, they both said no, as apparently Caddis told them that her limp came from slipping in the shower and Murayama told them that she tripped on her way to school. Nodding at this, he gave them both a kiss before going to find Sona in the student council office and handing her his sin-filled flyer. She asked him how the request went and he told her the truth and asked if it was a frequent thing he would have to deal with. Sona told him that it wasn't unusual for devils to get requests like that, but that those kinds of requests could be turned down. She also told to not make it a habit, as her peerage wasn't an escort service. The rest of the day was pretty much normal and led to where he is now. Naruto was brought out of his thoughts when he heard the door to the roof open and he saw Koneko there with her lunch bag. He could smell the sweets she had in the bag. "Hey Ko-chan," said Naruto. "Sup Naruto-kun," said Koneko as she sat next to him and took out a cookie from her bag and started eating. She didn't notice that she had added kun to his name. "So last night you said you had questions, what are they?" asked Naruto. Koneko stiffened a bit at this, as she remembered the questions Rias wanted her to ask. She was afraid that they would ruin her relationship with Naruto, so she decided to save those for last. "Did you have sex with Caddis and Murayama?" asked Koneko bluntly. Naruto raised an eyebrow at the question, but decided to answer honestly, as Koneko wasn't a gossip. "Yeah, I did. Caddis summoned me through a flyer, and her request was to have a threesome with me and Murayama," said Naruto. "She summoned you through a flyer, so you're a devil?" asked Koneko. "Yeah, reincarnated by Sona, who I'm guessing you already knew was a devil as well," said Naruto. "Yes, I knew. When did she reincarnate you?" asked Koneko. "The same night Rias reincarnated Issei," said Naruto, was trying to keep the rage he was feeling out of his voice, but Koneko still picked up on it. "Why do you seem so angry with Rias?" "Issei I can understand, but Rias?" asked Koneko. Naruto looked at Koneko for a few moments before sighing and then telling her about Rias leaving him to die and the things she said to him. Koneko was not happy about this at all. If the clenching of her fists were anything to go by, this also reinforced her idea that something was going on with Rias, as the Rias she knew would never say something like that to anyone. "Naruto-kun, I'm sorry for what Rias said to you, but please forgive her, there's just something going on with her," said Koneko. "Not a chance. My forgiveness isn't something I just hand out like candy, you have to earn it, and so far Rias has done nothing to earn it. And, as for her going through something, I don't give a shit about that. Just because you have some problems doesn't mean you can act like a bitch and say whatever you want to people," said Naruto, leaving no room for argument. Koneko sighed, as she figured Naruto would say something like that and she couldn't really blame him. Technically Ria's whole peerage was full of orphans, as her parents were dead, Akeno hated her father, and wouldn't even acknowledge that he was her father, Kiba's parents were an unknown, but they were pretty sure they were dead, and Gaspar's relationship with his father was strained at best. So, as far as parents went, the only ones that really had any parents were Ria's and Issei. Koneko took a deep breath as she prepared to ask the questions that Ria's wanted her to ask. "Can you use Senjutsu?" asked Koneko. "I'm no master of it, but I can use it without losing control," said Naruto. "Did you know about me being a devil before last night?" asked Koneko. "I knew about every devil in our school the moment I stepped on campus. None of you did a good job in actually hiding your power," said Naruto. "If that's so, then why didn't you tell any of us that you were Yakai?" asked Koneko. "I didn't feel the need to, plus I also knew about the peerage system and I didn't want to be looked at as some new toy to be collected," said Naruto. "Yet you allowed Sona to reincarnate you," said Koneko. "Sona also became my friend when she thought I was nothing more than a simple human, and when I was injured she healed me first, then gave me the option of being reincarnated or not. Ria's left me to die, and instead of healing Issei and then giving him a choice, she reincarnated him. And then continued to use him as bait for the fallen," said Naruto with a snarl in his voice, and his eyes narrowed. Koneko flinched a bit at this, but she knew Naruto wasn't really mad at her. She knew asking these questions had the chance of hurting her relationship with Naruto, but she really hoped that it would still be intact after this last question. "How did your parents die?" asked Koneko. Naruto stiffened at the question and looked at Koneko with hard cold eyes. Koneko didn't like those eyes being directed at her, they made her feel like a small kitten being glared at by a huge beast. She had only seen these eyes when Naruto would catch the perverted trio peeking in the girls' locker room. A small part of her was mad at Ria's because those eyes are now directed at her. "My dad died when a group of high-class devils tried to force him into one of their peerages, though he managed to kill all of them. My mom and I didn't understand how they managed to kill him, as my dad was far from weak, he was actually very close to being Satan class in power. Later my mom and I were attacked by fallen angels, we fought and were doing fine for a while, but my mom was human and we were no match for a 10-winged fallen. I was forced to watch as she was decapitated in front of me and then I was left alive so that the bastard could hunt me down later," said Naruto while tightly clenching his fists. Koneko looked down as she had forced her friend to talk about something so personal and painful. She couldn't even remember her mother and father, but Naruto had been forced to live through his father being murdered and then being forced to watch as his mother was killed. "Naruto-kun," said Koneko. "What?" Naruto said harshly. He didn't mean to be harsh with her, but talking about what happened to his parents would always put him in a bad mood. Koneko flinched a bit at his tone, but could understand that he wasn't much in the mood for talking. She took a deep breath before deciding to do something she never thought she would do. She allowed her white cat ears and her tail to show. Naruto's eyes widened at this, as he really didn't expect for her to do something like this. "I was right, she does look very cute with her cat features showing," Naruto thought to himself. "When I was very young, my big sister and I lived on the streets with her, stealing in order to feed the both of us. One day a devil came and offered my sister a place to stay and food in our stomachs in exchange for her becoming a part of his peerage. She accepted. For a time things were fine, but then one day I woke up to a bunch of devils storming the house we were living in and then being taken away and imprisoned. They said my sister had gone crazy after using Senjutsu and killed her king before abandoning me. Some time later I was before a council of devils and they were going to execute me for my sister's crimes. However, before they could make the decision final, I was saved by Ria's brother and put under Ria's care. It took a while, but I warmed up to Ria's and allowed her to reincarnate me, and I also dropped my original name and Ria's named me Koneko," said Koneko. Naruto said nothing as he took in everything that Koneko just told him. It was obvious that what she just said was very hard for her. Walking over to her, Naruto placed his hand on her head and started to gently rub her ears, causing her to purr. He wanted to ask what her real name was, but chose not to, as she had already revealed enough personal stuff for one day. "Thank you for telling me this, Ko-chan, as I can tell it was very hard for you. I won't speak of this to anyone," said Naruto. Koneko looked up at him with her eyes full of gratefulness, causing Naruto to smirk at her. "Though I feel that there is something very important that you should know," said Naruto. "What?" asked Koneko. "Your sister didn't lose herself to Senjutsu," said Naruto. "What?" "But I was told," said Koneko with wide eyes before Naruto interrupted her. "You were told by devils, probably the same devils that wanted to kill you for something you didn't do, and the same devils that went and started the mass murder of our people," said Naruto. Koneko went quiet at this, as she had no comeback for that. Look Ko-chan, certain devils may think they know everything, but in truth they're just making shit up as they go. No devil will ever understand Senjutsu like a Yaokai will. Before he died my dad taught me all he knew about Senjutsu, and trust me it was a lot. The main thing that you need to know is that once you lose yourself to Senjutsu there is no turning back until all of the natural chakra has left your body. This means that you become a murderous monster with nothing on your mind but killing. If your sister killed her king and no one else then she didn't lose herself, said Naruto. But then why did she leave me? Asked Koneko, as she really needed answers. I don't know, but from what I understand there are 3 reasons she could have left you, said Naruto. What are they? Asked Koneko. The first reason is the worst reason, she left because since she had to take care of you pretty much her whole life she felt burdened by you and decided to just drop you, said Naruto, but he didn't like saying it at all, but it was a possibility. He then saw the pain in Kaneko's eyes and then quickly fixed the problem. We can actually throw this reason out because if she felt burdened by you, then she wouldn't have even brought you with her when she became a devil, said Naruto. He saw in her eyes that this had helped, but some of the pain was still there. What are the other 2? Asked Koneko. The second reason is a much better one, she left because she knew she was a danger to you without knowing how to control Senjutsu. The last reason is that her king did something to provoke her to kill him and was going to take you with her, but decided against it as the life, as a criminal on the run, isn't the life for a child. The problem with these reasons is that we need your sister to confirm any of them, said Naruto. You've given me a lot to think about Naruto-kun, said Koneko. I'm sure I have Ko-chan, but we should get going since it won't be long before lunch is over. Oh, and next time Rias wants answers about me tell her to grow a pair and ask me herself, said Naruto. How did you know? Asked Koneko not even trying to deny it. I know how to read people and you've been uncomfortable ever since you asked about me using Senjutsu, said Naruto. I won't do this again, said Koneko. I don't mind you asking me questions Ko-chan, I just want them to actually come from you, said Naruto. Koneko nodded at this before they left to rejoin everyone else. The rest of the school day went by normally with Naruto attending the rest of his classes while also spending time with Murayama and Katis. At the end of the school day Naruto told his girls that he would call them later as he had work to do for Sona, they understood and gave him a deep kiss each before walking off while still having a visible limp. After getting to the student council office Naruto started working on his homework as Sona was strict about her peerage keeping their grades up. Once he finished he sat back in his chair in order to relax before feeling a weight on his lap. Looking down he noticed that Benya had sat herself down on his lap while she continued to do her work. He was about to question her on why she did that, but when she looked at him with those sleepy gold eyes, he just couldn't bring himself to say anything, so he just rubbed the top of her head and went back to relaxing. Benya smiled at this while the other girls glared in jealousy at her, even Sona. After a while everyone had finished their work and Sona had an announcement. Alright everyone, we have a stray devil to take care of, said Sona. Gather around everyone and I will teleport us to the location that we need to go to, said Sona. Everyone walked over to Sona with Naruto having to take Benya off his lap in order to stand up only to then have Haruko jump onto his back and having to support her by holding her thighs. Haruko blushed as his hand sank into the meat of her thighs, but she simply wrapped her arms around his neck and pressed her breasts into his back. Naruto felt this but didn't do anything about it. If she was fine with doing it then why should he stop her? The girls glared at Haruko in jealousy before Sona created a magic circle under them and they disappeared. The outskirts of Kuo. When everyone reappeared they were in the outskirts of Kuo in front of an abandoned warehouse. Alright everyone, our target was reported to be here, his name is Zidonius and he went stray after raping and killing his king's daughter, so our job is to make sure that tonight is his last night alive, said Sona. Naruto was already ready for a fight, but now he was downright pissed and ready for a slaughter. He could even feel Pantera stirring inside him. He then stiffened as his senses were going crazy. What's wrong Rito-kun? Asked Haruko as she felt him stiffen. I'm fine, but Sona-chan, you said that Zidonius is our only target, right? Asked Naruto. Yes, that is correct, why? Asked Sona. I'm sensing a lot more than one devil in that warehouse, said Naruto, shocking everyone but also getting them to be even more on guard even though Haruko still didn't get off of him. That is strange, stray devils don't usually group together at all since it makes it much easier to find them. How many are you sensing Naruto? Asked Sona. I'd say about 40 in total, but there is one that seems to be stronger than the other 39, said Naruto. That one must be our target, everyone gets ready for a fight, said Sona. Actually Sona-chan, let me handle this on my own. You've already explained to me what every piece of the evil pieces can do and you did say you would need a demonstration of what I can do, said Naruto with a feral grin. Sona stared at Naruto for a few moments before nodding her head. Very well Naruto, but the moment it looks like you're having trouble we will step in. Said Sona seriously. You'll find that I won't need help with something this simple. Said Naruto as he put Naruto down and walked towards the doors of the warehouse. He then kicked the doors in with so much force that they flew off the hinges. This caused every stray devil to turn their attention to him while his feral grin grew even more. Are you ready to put on a Pantera show? Naruto asked in thought. I'm always ready, let the slaughter begin. Said the excited female voice of Pantera. Naruto held his right hand up and light particles gathered before a sheathed katana appeared in his hand. The sheath was light blue matching the sword's handle while the guard took the shape of a rigid and crooked S. What is that? Asked Tsubaki. Oh that's right I haven't told any of you. Naruto-kun has a sacred gear called Destruction Pantera. It gives him many abilities that I will explain as I see them and, as you can see, its physical form is that of a sword. Said Sona. Well now that I know he has sword skills, this means that I can train with him as well. Said Tomo. Tomo was usually attracted to younger boys or boys that at least appeared to be younger, but things changed when she met Naruto. There was just something about him that she couldn't explain, but it drew her in and made her want to know him. As they became friends and really got to know each other she couldn't help but start to fall for him. Naruto looked around the area and saw the mutilated bodies of a lot of people, though most of them were women, he could only imagine the horrors they suffered through. He could feel the rage inside him boiling and waiting to be unleashed. Placing the sheathed blade on his left hip, Naruto started to walk further into the warehouse while remembering something his dad told him. Flashback. The younger version of Naruto, 5 years old, was on his hands and knees with his body covered in bruises from the harsh training he was being put through. Most would think that a child so young would be sad or cry because of the condition they were in, but that wasn't the case with Naruto. Naruto was pissed because he had lost yet another fight against his dad. Naruto forced himself to stand up despite the pain he was feeling and glared at his dad. Grimjo Jijirjakis was a tall, muscular man with light blue hair and light blue eyes with green lines below them, and swaying behind him were two light blue tails, showing that he was a master of senjutsu. For clothes he wore a white hakama with a black sash around the waist, no shirt, but a ragged white jacket with an upturned collar, and black boots with a white trim. That rage you're feeling, I want you to use it. Most idiots think that rage in battle will make you sloppy, and sometimes they're right, but that's only if you let your rage cloud your mind. I don't want you to lose yourself to your rage or to suppress it. I want you to direct it, let it make your attack stronger and your movements faster. Said Grimjo with a feral grin. Naruto just growled before moving to attack his dad once again. Grimjo easily blocked all of Naruto's attacks, but he did notice that the attacks were stronger and faster, meaning Naruto was doing as he asked. Grimjo then saw something that actually shocked him. He saw Naruto's purple eyes turn gold and the lines under his eyes thicken. He also felt the power Naruto was now using. Incredibly, he's using senjutsu and he doesn't even know it. Thought Grimjo in surprise. With one final push Naruto got through Grimjo's defense and landed a punch to his chest which caused Grimjo to slide back 2 feet. At that point Naruto fell to his hands and knees again while panting as his eyes and markings returned to normal. I did it. I finally hit you. DxD. Said Naruto before falling to his face. That's my boy. Was the last thing Naruto heard before he passed out. Flashback end. Using what his dad had taught him, Naruto was taking control of his rage and directing it at these monsters before him. Well, what do we have here? A little pest with a toy, and look, he's brought a group of little whores for us to enjoy. Said one of the stray devils. They smell like virgins, so I bet they're nice and tight. Said another stray devil. I can't wait to hear them beg for our coon once they're broken in. Said another stray devil. I call dibs on the small one with the gold eyes. I bet I can split her in half on my cock. Said another. I want the white-haired one. I haven't had a girl with that hair color yet. Said another. I want the one with dark blue hair. Her breasts aren't big, but look at that juicy ass. Said another. I call the one with the long hair and glasses. Those tits will feel so good wrapped around my cock. Said another. I want both of the boys. I love seeing the broken look a man has in his eyes when a large cock is forced up his ass. Said another. I want the one with the bob cut and glasses. Her serious face just screams she needs dick in her life. Said another. Naruto was practically a volcano ready to erupt with how boiling hot the rage inside him was with every word they were saying. Pantera wasn't any better, as she was practically foaming at the mouth with her rage, adding to Naruto's. Sona and the rest of her peerage were very uncomfortable with what was being said, but they were also angry that these strays thought that they would just sit back and allow them to do these disgusting things to them. They didn't move though, as all of them could pretty much feel the raw white hot rage coming from Naruto. They smirked at this, as they had all seen what happens when Naruto is pissed. Naruto's body started to glow light blue color, and then everyone in the area felt some kind of force pushing down on them. A lot of the stray devils fell to their knees because of the pressure, while Sona and the others didn't move since the pressure wasn't focused on them. You dare to speak so disrespectfully about my friends, worse you dare to speak about them like that in front of me. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, remember that name well as it is the name of the person that is about to put an end to your pathetic lives. Said Naruto, as he quickly drew his sword from its sheath. Flashback. Kushina stood behind an 8-year-old Naruto as she watched him practice his sword strokes with a Bakken. She smiled at his determination as he had been at this for hours and hadn't stopped for any reason. Remember Naruto-kun, be sure to follow through with every swing and never hesitate. If you are going to hesitate, then don't even bother to draw your sword. Your sword can't heal anyone, it can be used to end life, to save life, and to defend your ideals, but it can't be used to heal. Because of this you must always be sure of yourself and your swings, because once you cut something with your sword, there is no taking back your cut. Said Kushina. Naruto just nodded as he continued to practice his strokes. His mom was teaching him both Kenjutsu and Kendo, two completely different sword arts, since Kenjutsu was meant to kill an opponent as fast as possible, while Kendo was meant to bring balance to oneself. As they worked to mold the mind and body, Kushina figured that if Naruto could master both, then he would become an unstoppable swordmaster. You also need to remember that your sword is an extension of yourself, it is a part of you. Trust in your sword and never fear it. To fear your sword is to fear yourself, and to master the sword you must know and accept yourself. Said Kushina. Time skip. Two Bakken slammed into each other as a 10-year-old Naruto spared Kushina. Let your sword guide you from within, let it tell you how to swing it, let it tell you how to block, and let it tell you how to win. Said Kushina as they continued to spar. Flashback end. Disappearing in a burst of static, Naruto appeared in front of one of the stray devils and with a quick swing of his sword, removed the devil's head. He disappeared again before appearing in front of another stray and stabbed him in the heart. He continued like this until he killed 10 of the strays in less than 5 seconds. Wow, Naruto-kun is so fast. Said Tomo. What is this ability, Sona-sama? Asked Benya. I believe that we are seeing the ability called Sonido. Naruto said it was a high-speed ability, but I wasn't expecting it to be this fast. This ability will definitely nullify the decreased speed that rooks are supposed to have. Said Sona. The stray devils were finally able to overcome the pressure they were under and went to attack Naruto. Naruto decided to fully test what his strength was like now and sheath his sword before charging back at the stray devils. The first stray came to was hit with an uppercut that actually caused his head to fly off his body and through the roof of the warehouse. Naruto then quickly moved to the side and kicked another stray so hard that he actually bisected the stray. Naruto was a killing machine, as every kick and punch caused one of the strays to die. Looking at that strength, I didn't think the rook piece would increase Naruto-kun's strength this much. Said Tsubasa. It's not all rook strength, Naruto-kun is also using his chakra to further increase his strength. Said Sona. A stray with large blades for arms ran at Naruto prepared to stab him, while Naruto simply held up the palm of his hand. When the blade made contact with his skin it broke, shocking the stray before he died due to Naruto shoving his fist through his chest. That was the defensive ability called Hierro, it gives him skin that is as hard as steel. That combined with a defense boost from his rook piece makes for a truly amazing defense. Said Sona. Damn, training with Naruto-kun is going to be intense. Said Tsubasa. Naruto continued to fight, but now he was starting to get bored, his hands then started to spark with red energy. You know, I was expecting much more from such a large group, but you guys are really boring me, so say goodbye Bala. Said Naruto as he threw a punch that launched the energy from his fist and tore through 5 strays. What you just saw is what I believe to be called a Bala. According to Naruto, it is a very fast energy blast, but it is not as strong as some of his other energy-based attacks. Said Sona. Rooks are normally hand-to-hand fighters, having one that can also use distance attacks will be a nice surprise for any future enemies or raiding game opponents. Said Momo. Naruto soon noticed that there were only a few left, while the largest stayed in the back and watched everything happening. Naruto figured that the big one was Zidonius, but he couldn't really tell, as it seemed to be using some kind of spell to hide its form. The large figure pointed a clawed finger at Naruto, and the last 5 of the small fry moved in to attack. I've killed everyone that came before you by myself, and you still believe you can beat me, you will pay dearly for your stupidity. Yelled Naruto before he held his right hand up to them, and a red ball of energy formed. Be gone from my sight, weaklings, Zero. yelled Naruto as he fired a large beam of red energy that completely overtook the strays and left behind nothing but a large trench carved into the ground and ash. Holy fucking shit, yelled Saji. That must have been the Zero Naruto was talking about. He was right, as it's not as fast as the Bala, but it is clearly a lot more powerful, said Sona, though she too was shocked at the power of the attack even if it didn't show on her face. Well, that's 39 down and 1 to go. I assume you're Zidonius, said Naruto as he started to walk towards the figure that was still hiding himself. That is correct, since you know who I am there is no need to continue hiding myself with this silly spell, said Zidonius, and with a swipe of his hand removed the spell. But the spell gone, it revealed that Zidonius was 10 feet tall with a thick muscular body, skin as black as the night, 4 red slanted eyes, 4 arms that were bugling with large muscles, large hands with long claws, powerful legs with hooves for feet, large skeletal wings on his back. And he had no lips revealing razor-sharp teeth. So you're the son of a bitch that raped and killed his king's daughter. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this way more than I should, said Naruto with a feral grin. Is that what you're here about? You should be grateful to me for doing that. We're supposed to be devils, creatures of sin that care for nothing but fulfilling our own desires no matter the cost. She was young, beautiful, and tight. I wanted her, so I took her over and over again until she died from it. Who knew a 12-year-old could feel so good? Said Zidonius with sick pleasure in his voice. Naruto disappeared in a burst of speed and appeared in front of Zidonius and delivered a right cross to his jaw. Zidonius went flying, but Naruto appeared in front of Zidonius and gave him a fierce uppercut that sent Zidonius into the air. Naruto appeared above him once again, and this time a hard axe kick to the top of his head that rocketed Zidonius into the ground. When Naruto landed on the ground, Zidonius shot out of the crater his body had made and tried to attack Naruto with his claws. Unfortunately for him, Naruto's arrow protected him from Zidonius's claws while he blocked all of the stray strikes. With a couple of well-placed punches and kicks, Naruto broke all 4 of Zidonius's arms before palm, thrusting him in the chest and sending him across the warehouse. Man, this fight was boring. I expected so much more from a group of 40, but you all were so weak. At least I get to enjoy destroying a piece of trash like you, said Naruto before he unsheathed his sword just enough to show the sharp edge. Then he ran his right index finger along the edge, drawing a little blood. Pantera was one of the few objects that could easily cut through his arrow. Naruto then held his right hand towards Zidonius and charged another Zero, but this one was light blue with a red outline. Be gone from this world, Gran Ray Zero, yelled Naruto as he fired a blast that was 5 times bigger than the original Zero he fired earlier. The blast completely destroyed Zidonius and the back half of the warehouse, along with the land behind the warehouse. Holy fucking shit, yelled everyone, including Sona. He said that a Gran Ray Zero was a stronger form of a Zero, but hearing about it and seeing it is a completely different thing, said Sona. Well, that's done, said Naruto as he walked back to the others. Before anyone could say anything, a portal opened up above them and 6 fallen angels came out. What the hell, why do I keep running into fallen angels? Asked Naruto as he was getting really sick of fighting fallen angels. The fallen angels looked to Naruto and saw his tail swaying behind him. They figured he was the yokai they were sent to kill, and they all summoned light spears into their hands. Naruto and the others got ready for a fight, but before anyone could move, all 6 of them were suddenly killed by red, yellow, and pink light spears going through their heads and chests. Well, that was unexpected, said Naruto. At that point, Rainer, Calwarner, and Middle came off the portal, showing they killed the first 6 fallen. Hey there, Naruto-kun, said Rainer. Hey, Ruto-kun, said Middle. Hey, Naru-kun, said Calwarner. Oh hey girls, I didn't think I'd see you again so soon. What are you doing here? Asked Naruto. Well, we were ordered to find you and kill you, but we decided not to, as the bitch giving orders will most likely start another great war. We also decided to use this opportunity to disappear from her radar and give word back to Azazel-sama about what is going on so that maybe he can do something, said Rainer. I see. What do you think, Sona-chan? Asked Naruto. I think they need to tell me everything they know about what's going on, said Sona. She remembered that these were the 3 that had helped Naruto, but that didn't mean that she would so easily trust them. Very well, we'll tell you everything we know, said Rainer. Underworld. Then Alana Gremory was a beautiful woman that looked to be in her mid-20s, with soft and smooth fair skin, bright violet eyes, brown hair that went down to her upper back, an amazing figure that most women would kill to have, long legs, thick eyes, a narrow waist, a thick ass, a flat stomach, and large perky eye-cup breasts. For clothes, she wore an elegant white dress with a black trim that revealed a great deal of her amazing cleavage and black high-heeled strappy heels. Then Alana could usually be found with either a motherly smile on her face or a serious look, but as of right now she was sitting in her bedroom with a deep frown on her face. The reason for the frown was that she was currently thinking about her family. Her eldest son Serziches barely had time to have a proper talk with her due to his workload, as Lucifer, plus taking care of his own wife and child, her daughter Riaz, had run away to the human world years ago. And only really talked to her through letters or on the rare times she would visit for a short time, and the worst part was that her husband, Zeodicus, had greatly changed over the years. When they first met and long into their marriage, Zeodicus was always so affectionate and kind, he would do anything to make his family happy. Sure, he had times where his silliness would get out of hand and she would have to rein him in, but she loved that about him. She didn't know when, but at some point after Serziches became Lucifer he changed. He became very serious and overly concerned with status and power, both political and power. When he agreed to the marriage contract between Riaz and the youngest son of the House of Phoenix, she thought things would be fine since their own relationship started the same way, but when Riaz started vigorously refusing to marry Rizer, she decided to take a look into how the boy acted. She was disgusted with what she saw and found out the boy was nothing more than an arrogant man-whore with no respect for anyone. Seeing that marrying Riaz to Rizer was a terrible idea, she tried to talk to her husband about breaking the contract. He told her he wouldn't even consider the idea, as doing so would cause damage to the Gremory name and status. Then Alana didn't really understand this, as the Gremory name was very high up on the social ladder, so one broken marriage wouldn't do that much damage. She wasn't even sure the other houses would even really care. She talked to Lord and Lady Phoenix about breaking the contract, and to her surprise, they agreed that the marriage between Rizer and Riaz was a bad idea, seeing just how much Riaz hated Rizer, and Rizer's attitude in general usually turned people off. Apparently they had tried to marry Rizer off to someone before, but no one was willing to allow their daughter to marry someone like Rizer. Even some of the most power-hungry families had refused, as they felt Rizer's attitude and rudeness would cause them to drop in status. The problem was that Lord and Lady Phoenix explained that only the ones involved in the marriage contract could break it. While sure one of the Satans could break it, they weren't really allowed to interfere in clan matters unless what they were doing posed a threat to the underworld as a whole. Knowing that Riaz would agree to break the contract before she could even finish the question, she went to talk to Rizer and tried to convince him to break the contract. The little shit didn't pay attention to a word she said and was content to simply stare at her breasts while feeling up two of his pawns. She got up to leave, as she figured that talking to him was a lost cause, but when Rizer thought she was out of hearing range, she heard him say that he hoped Riaz's breasts would grow to be as large as hers. She really wanted to destroy him for that comment. Later she would ask her husband once again to break the contract because of how unhappy it was making Riaz. He told that it was time that they stopped babying Riaz, and she did her part for the clan, and that a child with the power of destruction and Phoenix regeneration would be a great boon for the clan. Then Alana tried explaining that Riaz becoming pregnant would not only take a long time, not to mention she was too young to have a child, and that there was no guarantee that the child would have both powers or either powers. Zeodicus became irritated with arguments and told her heatedly that Riaz would just have to keep trying until she became pregnant with a perfect child. Then Alana reminded him that devil women didn't become pregnant as fast as human women. Proof of this was how far apart Serziches and Riaz were in age. Zeodicus said nothing after that, he simply gave her a cold look before leaving. Since then Zeodicus had been very distant and cold to her. He spent most of his time with his harem to the point that he barely ever shared the bed with her anymore. He stopped using any kind of pet name for her and only referred to her by her first name. And he never even consulted her when he made decisions for the clan anymore. She had tried to talk to him many times before, but he only ever gave her short answers or tried to end the conversation as fast as possible without even looking at her. I need to stop thinking about Zeodicus and focus on the matter at hand. Then Alana said to herself before going to her nightstand and pulling out a few reports from her familiar about how Riaz was doing. From what she was reading, it seemed that Riaz was getting really desperate to find a way to break the contract. Then Alana really wished she could help her daughter in some way. Thanks for watching my video, see you next time, till then sayonara.